Hi friends, this is Miss Kat, one of the STEM educators at Boys and Girls Club, and today we are going to be talking about another astronomy lesson of the solar and lunar eclipses. Neither of these phenomenons happen all of the time, and we are going to learn why that is. Let's start with the lunar eclipse. A lunar eclipse occurs when the Earth gets in the way of the sun's light hitting the moon. That means that during the night, a full moon fades away as the Earth's shadow covers it up. This type of eclipse only can happen during the full moon phase, when the Earth is in between the sun and the moon. When this phenomenon happens, the moon can look a little red or orange because the Earth's atmosphere is absorbing all of the other colors from the sun, while it bends some of the sunlight towards the moon, giving it the reddish-orange appearance. A lunar eclipse only happens between 0 and 4 times per year, and they may be either partial or total. So, why do we not see a lunar eclipse every time a full moon occurs? The thing is, the moon doesn't orbit perfectly around the Earth. The moon orbits at a 5-degree tilt, and so during the full moon phase, the moon still receives light from the sun. A lunar eclipse only occurs when the Earth, the moon, and the sun perfectly align with each other, which is why it only happens very few times per year. Unlike a solar eclipse, most people will be able to see a lunar eclipse occur because the Earth casts a larger shadow on the moon than the moon does on the Earth. Now that we know what a lunar eclipse is, let's learn about a solar eclipse. A solar eclipse occurs when the moon gets in the way of the sun's light and casts its shadow on the Earth. This means during the day, the moon moves over the sun and it gets dark during the daytime, which is pretty crazy and cool to experience. This eclipse can only happen during the new moon phase when the moon is in between the sun and the Earth. The solar eclipse is also more rare to see than the lunar eclipse, and it only occurs every year and a half somewhere on Earth. If you are in the US, the next total solar eclipse will pass over Austin and Dallas on April 8th, 2024, which is quite a ways away from now. So a couple of questions. Why does a solar eclipse not happen every new moon? And why doesn't everyone get to see it? During a solar eclipse, because the moon is much smaller than the Earth, it creates a smaller shadow on the Earth in comparison to a lunar eclipse where the Earth's shadow casts over the entire moon. This also means that not everyone will get to see the solar eclipse. It only lasts for a few minutes and it passes over a select area path. And just like the lunar eclipse, the solar eclipse is also rare because it has to be at a perfect 0-degree angle for it to work. Because remember how the moon orbits the Earth at a 5-degree angle? Well, the sun, the moon, and the Earth need to line up exactly for a solar eclipse to happen as well. So to recap, there are 2 different types of eclipses. There's the lunar eclipse where the Earth creates a shadow on the moon, and then there's a solar eclipse where the moon casts a shadow on the Earth during the daytime. I hope you enjoyed this video about the 2 different kinds of eclipses, and I hope you learned something new so you can share with your friends, and stay tuned for another STEM video for next time.